from Alabama too, right?
Welcome to Indiana Sports Beat Radio, presented by Andy Moore Honda of Bloomington.
Know your role and shut your mouth, out there. You jabroni.
Fires upfield into the end zone. It is caught. Jelani Woods, touchdown, INDY. 43-point night for Tyrese Halliburton.
How do you like that, partner?
Renew now, drives in low, throws up a shot. It doesn't go. Tipped up and in by Anthony Leal. Indiana takes the lead.
It's pretty simple. I win. Google me.
Now, here's your host, Jim Coyle.
Where were you? Hello, everybody. Welcome aboard Indiana Sports Beat Radio, coming to you once again from the beautiful dive course here at French Lick Resort at French Lick, Indiana. And I'm joined by our good friend Brendan Sweeney, who is head of all media relations. And
Andy Moore Honda of
we'll get that stopped for you. There you go. I had that happen to me once before, so don't worry about it, Tyler. Tyler at the controls. And again, Brendan Sweeney joining Brendan. A great fun day yesterday for the media outing for the Corn Ferry Tour Championship.
Presented by United Leasing and Financing.
Exactly. Out of Evansville, right?
Yep. Serving the nation as one of your finest suppliers of leasing and financing equipment.
And what more could a person need on this drizzly but cooler day today? It looks like it's actually beautiful weather out there for if you consider what it was like when it gets hot.
We have a group of fine gentlemen here from Decatur, Alabama, located probably about 5 hours on the nose dead south of French Lick. If they were in Ireland right now, it'd be a beautiful day. But we're
exactly, and of course, our good friend Kalen DeBoer, has been on this multiple times, former IU offensive coordinator, now the head coach in Alabama, baby.
Rock on.
So
Roll Tide.
Sorry,
I'm a Roll Tide fan.
Oh, we got War Eagle and Roll Tide here today.
I bet that was a heck of a ride, huh?
2 cars,
man.
I'm sorry, 2 trucks.
Appreciate you guys being on with us as always. Looking forward to talking to Rick Bozich as well from WDRB.com. Kyle Neddenriep from the Indy Star, and also Dylan Sinn, not able to be on today, but he'll be on with us later in the week, probably on Friday. And a fun day yesterday, like I said, Brendan, and thanks again for joining us. But a lot of people out from a lot of different places, and the word is getting out. We saw all the news stations. I happened to catch it on 2 or 3 different ones last night myself. So yeah. It's a big deal. It's a big deal for the community. And I didn't get a chance to talk more about what it does for the community. I mean, French Lick itself is obviously a major employer, but these types of events that are charitable driven, there's so much that they benefactors of 28 counties in southern Indiana. I know that from Golf Gives Back, but that's just another way of French Lick giving back to this community.
Well, we've had a great opportunity of hosting, I think, in the last 15 years, 19 different golf championships, all with a beneficiary of a charity in some way, shape, or form. From the American Heart Association, the Riley's Hospital for Children, and now it's Golf Gives Back, which is a education based charity that gives young children, pre-kindergarten children, the opportunity to pre-learn before they go in school, and at the long-term long-term benefits of getting a kid a proper education. And Jack Pate, you met him yesterday. His organization funds 28 of the counties in southern Indiana for the education needs. So yeah, we use golf as a great motivator to raise money, and it's a fun way to do it too. I mean, people want to come down here, they want to give, and we found out through over the years that it really, people enjoy it. So if we could benefit someone by playing golf, more power to us and more power to you guys for getting the word out. But we had a great media day yesterday. We had Evansville, Louisville, Indianapolis, Bloomington, Cincinnati. Dennis Paulson came in from XM Radio. He was a keynote speaker. He's on channel 92 on XM PGA Tour Radio. So he's a long-term PGA member. Old friend of mine, and he came down and spoke for about a half hour media day. And then we went out and played golf, had a blast, and an absolute riot.
It was absolutely good.
The weather was a little bit crispy, but today, I mean, it's making up for it.
Yeah. Different. That's the good thing about being at this high elevation, I guess.
Thank you very much.
Also, you guys have a caddy scholarship in which you've sent several caddies through college.
Yeah, the Western Golf Association, based up in Chicago, Chick Evans started it back in the 1920s. And
Were you there for that?
no, I was not. But my brother did receive a Evans scholarship from Marquette in the 80s, which was great. I grew up caddying at the Medina Country Club outside of Chicago. Dave Harder, our director of golf, you'll be talking to him later, probably address a little bit better than I. His son was a recipient of the Evans scholarship up at IU. So in the last 15 years, we put 14 kids through school by caddying. And they're local kids. It's a need-based scholarship. And 14 young men and women have received full rides to either Purdue, IU, in the Indiana town part. But yeah, it's really a home run. I mean, you couldn't ask for more to see a young person try to get through it and to reach their goals.
And be able to use the skill and hard work to get there.
And you're making money. And you're making great money caddying out here. And you're interacting with professional people, with successful people that play golf. And you learn how to communicate with people. It's amazing how, I'm not sure if it was COVID-based or whatever, or maybe it's your phone. And people just stare on their phone all day long, and the kids don't know how to communicate now. But caddying, you don't have your phone in your hand for 5 hours looking at it, and you're outside exercising and having fun. So if there's any kids out there that want to come caddy, go to your local golf course, or you come on down here and make some money over the summer. It's great.
Don't forget, the world still needs ditch stickers too.
Danny, yes. They do need.
Speaking of Mr. Dave Harder, I'm gonna have him sit down and you can interview him for a second. I'll go grab another headset. Dave, let me hand this over to you.
Dave, so you can see.
You can interview him.
Well, I guess I'm a host now. The communications degree from Eastern Illinois University is paying off right about now. And I got the great opportunity to sit down next to us right now. Dave Harder, our director of golf at French Lick Resort. Hi, Dave. 48 years. Just seems like yesterday.
At times, it seems like yesterday.
Dave has been with French Lick Resort since 1976. Born and raised here in French Lick. You've seen some changes.
I've seen it at the very lowest and the very highest.
And I hope right now we're in the highest.
We seem to be.
Yes. I had a successful day yesterday with the meeting day for the Corn Ferry event. What does it mean to have the Corn Ferry event for the next 5 years come to French Lick? And not only the economic impact, but the social impact of having a professional event, the launching pad to the PGA Tour come to French Lick.
I think when you look at the golf course itself and the things that it's done for the economy, the area, we've hosted 19 championship events in the last 15 years. This is just another jewel in the crown, probably maybe the most important. I think the senior PGA in 2015 was an important stepping stone for us to get where we are today. And who knows where the next event, the Corn Ferry Tour Championship, will take us.
It's interesting how the PGA Tour has sort of modified its tournament locations. They don't really travel around anymore. Chicago, the only event they have up in Chicago now is a Corn Ferry event, which is a major, fifth largest major market in the United States of America. Silvis, Illinois is probably the smallest market with the John Deere. Is French Lick, think we could host a PGA Tour event? It would probably have to be 10 years down the road. Or is it more of a one-off?
The logistics is the issue, probably. The proximity to a major airport, 60 miles away. But, there's ways around all that. The senior PGA, we didn't have any problem with hosting, getting people here, getting them out. A good event the other day. We had 3,000 people in French Lick on a Tuesday for
in a town of.
Well, it wasn't a professional tournament, but it was pretty.
It was a good exhibition.
Yeah, pretty interesting.
And for those of you who haven't heard of the good guys, go on YouTube, type in Midwest Open. There has been close to 1.9 million people watch it already.
It's amazing. And what's really eye-catching for me was the age of the people who were here. I mean, the average age was probably under 30.
I'd say 25, yeah. And they're all dressed. I'm wearing a good shirt right here.
They're all golf folks. I mean, you can tell they bought the clothes. They spoke the language. They loved what they saw.
Out of there were 34 players in the event, and they were broken down into 2-man teams. So each team pretty much had their own videographer. They had their own stylist. There were different clothing lines out there from
You're almost a hairstylist, right?
it's called a hat. Got my
He only needs part-time.
Yeah, exactly. And this, got the pelt in the back removed. But it's amazing how different branding comes along. Now, we have a great professional staff here. Rob Kuntz is our head professional at the Pete Dye course, and you've been named the Indiana PGA Merchandiser of the Year numerous times.
I've been named a lot of things.
But Rob was named the PGA of America's National Merchandiser of the Year. What does that mean to you as like sort of the papa bear of the whole group?
Well, it's something I never achieved, but I was really happy to see that our efforts here and Rob's efforts were finally recognized. I think for the square footage that we have in our golf shops, we probably sell as much as anybody in the world. And he has a great eye for detail, a great eye for style, and just great to see it.
Going back to the good guys, we had a merchandise tent right in front of the pro shop there, and they did an online sale as well. They had a flash sale on their website, and we sold out of our gear, and they sold close to $500,000 on their side.
Yeah, it was amazing. I mean, the line was 300 feet long to get to the merchandise tent, and they bought. So you've seen some interesting things over the years here. The building of the Pete Dye course. When Pete came here, tell us a story real quick. You guys interviewed different architects that come up here and take a look at the place. And then Pete came out here one day. Why don't you take it from there? Well, we got a call from Alice Dye. Basically, she said, "I can't believe you haven't considered Pete for that golf course down there." So we started to consider Pete at that point. And my first call from Pete was, he had two questions. One was, is the sand down there any good? And I said, well, we don't have a lot of sand. We have to haul it in. He said, yeah, I'd always heard that. He said, what about ticks? I said, well, if you get out of the woods, you're going to get a few ticks. Oh, hell, he said, not me. My dog, he said, I took her down to Kentucky last week, and she got a bunch of ticks, and Alice was ready to kill me. So those were the first two questions. And then, of course, Pete came on site. First day, he told us he couldn't possibly build a golf course up here. It was too severe. The next day, he came back and had a plan in his mind. And at the end of that walk, he said, tell your boss I'm going to build it whether he wants me to or not. So that's how Pete got here.
And then that was in 2006?
It was actually in the winter of 2005-06.
Got it.
We broke ground in April of 06.
And then the land that we're on here it's all cleared out now, but it was thick forest.
You couldn't really see straight up on most of it. He had taken a topographical map and he had drawn a line around the 750-foot elevation level. We're sitting here at 950. He took all the trees off down to 750, so you could see unrestricted views, almost any tee or any green for miles. Some say up to 40.
You remember the first tree that went down?
I remember the last one.
Yeah. Like over on the 8th tee box?
We had marked 175 trees to save. And of course, Pete didn't have a lot of regard for trees. So he took them all down took them all down except one. And we were walking out there one day and the tree was standing right above 8. And it was a massive oak tree. And the side had been hit with the bulldozer and the roots were sticking up out of the ground. Where the other trees had fallen into it, the lower limbs were broke off. I said, Pete, why in the name of God did you leave that? He said, well, your boss likes trees, so I left him one. And then when Hurricane Ike came through during the event in Louisville, it blew over.
That was the Ryder Cup, 2008. Yeah. So now we have no trees.
Makes it better for the golfing, I've got to say.
But I mean, seriously, if you had trees out there, it would change the whole dynamic of this
absolutely.
golf.
That's the one thing I keep saying is that the beauty for me is just as much fun as playing golf here. It's just to be able to stand on top of this beautiful piece of art that was created out of a piece of land. It's amazing, and it truly is. I'm not kidding when I say that, especially when October rolls around and the Korn Ferry Tour Championship will be here. It'll be in prime time, leaves starting to change.
Should just be starting right around the first week. Yeah. And the weather, I mean, it's hit or miss with the weather up here. but it should be pretty good.
It's hit or miss every day in Indiana.
Well, yeah, look at us now. It's night and day from yesterday.
48 years at French Slick, Mr. Dave. That's been a long ride. Do you remember day one?
I do. I actually remember the hiring process. I walked into the human resources office, and you'll love this because this couldn't happen today. The lady who was in charge of human resources was at her desk, and she had the newspaper, a cigarette, a cup of coffee, and she had her feet up on the desk. And I walked in and I said, "Do you have any jobs?" I had worked in a wood factory that summer with my dad. I knew that wasn't for me. So she said, "Yeah, I have two." She said, "One is a dishwasher, and the other one is at the golf course as a cart attendant, bagger attendant." She said, "Do you play golf?" And I said, "Well, not really. I've gone with my grandfather. He was a pretty good player." But she said, "Then you're going to go to golf." And thank God, because I still can't load the dishwasher.
Well,
I would have made a terrible dishwasher.
Fritz Lick and everyone else involved is better for it. 48 years, and this just continues to grow, and the word keeps continuing to grow. It's hard for me to believe that there are still people out there that don't know about it, but every day I know you guys get new groups of people that have never been here. The guys from Alabama that you just talked to had not been here.
Hey, yesterday was Hershey, Pennsylvania, Decatur, Alabama. They're everywhere. I mean, we're located.
Email this morning with a fellow from Minnesota.
Yeah, Minnesota, Wisconsin. Decatur, Alabama is 5 hours away. Chicago's 5 hours away. So if you take that 5 hour circle, that's sort of what we sort of work around. And then I think I was telling you yesterday that I live in Orlando, but I fly in out of Louisville. And I took a look at the direct flights that go into Louisville, Dallas, Austin, Texas, Charlotte, Brainerd, Minnesota, whatever. And then we sort of target market that area as well.
Babe the Blue Ox. It's home of Babe the Blue Ox.
Brainerd, Minnesota. Don't you know?
And speaking of which, you had an interesting relationship, but with the movie we're talking about there.
Oh, Fargo?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a trip, man. I used to be in the film business up in Chicago. I got a phone call one day.
Not the mafia, the film business.
I worked for Astro Film Labs, a 61 West area in Chicago, right by the Rock and Roll McDonald's. And we got a phone call. We processed and developed motion picture film, and this guy from Minnesota said the lab was broken up in Minnesota, and could someone get up here and figure out a way to process the film overnight? So we found an overnight delivery service that transported organs to Chicago, and the flight left at midnight. So these guys would get the film on a flight. We'd have a guy at the airport at like 2 o'clock in the morning. We'd bring it back to the lab downtown and have it on an 8 o'clock flight. So it'd be up in Minnesota by 10. And the movie was Fargo that we worked on, all the Home Alone movies, Grumpy Old Men, a bunch of stuff like that. It was cool. It was a good gig for a while there.
Yeah, one of my favorites. Yeah. Well, guys, I cannot thank you enough, and look forward to coming back this fall again for the Corn Ferry Tour Championship. Again, that'll be
presented by United Lease and Finance.
What's that?
Presented by United Lease and Finance.
Yeah, I've got to have that written down in front of me, or I don't have it pounded into my brain just yet.
Presented by Lease. Okay, there you go.
Exactly. But it'll be an absolute blast. Will that be your 20th? Is that considered in the realm of the rest of those big events?
Championship.
Yeah. We got to get the 2 X's, like the Super Bowl.
That's it.
Then we'll go up to 25 and call it a day.
Dave Harder, Brendan Sweeney here at Fritz Lick, right now at the mansion at the Die Course. We're back with more Indiana Sports Beat Radio right after this.
In the market for a new or used vehicle? Well, nobody beats the prices and selection of Andy Moore Honda in Bloomington. Right now, get a brand new Honda with no payments for 90 days. That's right, 2023 and 2024 Honda Pilots, HRVs, CRVs, Honda Ridgelines, payment-free for 90 days. Or get 0.9% APR financing for 36 months on a 2023 Honda Ridgeline. Go to AndyMooreHonda.com and get more to your door. If you're looking for a home in the Indianapolis area, you need Cheryl Sizemore from RE/MAX Advanced Realty. Cheryl Sizemore has over 2 decades of experience, and that could be the difference in you getting the home you want in today's tough housing market. Reach out to Cheryl Sizemore from RE/MAX Advanced Realty at Cheryl@IndyHomePros.com or 317-298-0961. Cheryl Sizemore from RE/MAX Advanced Realty. Let Cheryl Sizemore get you in the home you want today. Cheryl at IndyHomePros.com.
Looking for someone to cater your next corporate event, family reunion, or tailgate? To some, a garnish may be nothing more than just a decoration put last on a plate. But in Bloomington, catering starts with Garnish Catering. Serving all of Bloomington and surrounding areas, Garnish Catering is waiting to help make your next event one to remember. Planning a great event shouldn't have to be stressful. Whether we quote you just for catering or a total event package, you can trust that you're making the right choice with Garnish Catering. Visit garnishcatering.com. That's garnishcatering.com. Garnish Catering is a proud partner of WOW Food Group.
Whether it's a night out with the family, after work with colleagues, or catching the game with friends, Bubba's 33 is the place for you. Bubba's 33 offers a mouthwatering menu of selections that are all made from scratch every day. The portions are big, but the prices are small. And with over 50 big screen TVs, you'll never miss the big game. Bubba's 33. Pizza, burgers, beer.
Country living is just a swing away. It can be hard to find the exact home that fits your family's needs, so there couldn't be a better time to build a new home with Property Shore Construction. Now building exclusively south of Bloomington within the Stonecrest Golf community. Choose from one of the gorgeous Stonecrest Signature Series house plans. We have several lots available with scenic views of the golf course. Contact Amy Rhoda with Revesco Real Estate for additional information. 812-583-0919 or go to mystonecrestliving.com. That's mystonecrestliving.com for more details.
Enjoy healthy, delicious meals at home without the hassle with the Fresh Fork. Chef-curated, ready-made meals delivered right to your doorstep. Proudly fueling IU athletes and now available to you with a menu that's always fresh and diverse, from hearty proteins to fresh salads. The Fresh Fork empowers you to make better food choices without compromising. Let the Fresh Fork help transform your lifestyle for a healthier way of living today at thefreshforkonline.com. Use promo code RADIO20 and get $20 off your first order.
Segment is brought to you by the Rusty Gator.
Welcome back, Indiana Sports Beat Radio on this Tuesday. No, it's Wednesday now. That's right. Somebody even put up Hump Day. How did I miss that? Jim Coyle with you as always, Indiana Sports Beat Radio, joined by Andrew Chernoff from Wish TV in Indianapolis, formerly of WOKY TV in Louisville and Spectrum before that, but an Indy guy
through and through. Grew up in Carmel, so love the state of Indiana.
Carmel, now you're in Broad Ripple, so kind of covering all of the Indy areas.
Slowly working my way around the greater Indianapolis area.
Well, you've got 465, so it's easier to do that now.
Yes.
And I-69 connection will be connected soon, I think. So
on my way down yesterday, I thought I saw a pace car because they did the ribbon cutting ceremony. One of the cop cars was blocking off the thing, and I'm like, "What's going on?"
Oh,
I forgot.
Yesterday.
Yeah, I think they had a ceremony of some sort because I saw a photo of an Indy car with the start finish. So I think they made it a whole thing yesterday. Wow, pretty cool.
It does turn it into more of a track, I'll tell you that. And but it cuts down the travel time, which Fred Slick has to love that for people that are coming from the north. Coming from the south, we were talking about that a minute ago. Hour and 10 minutes from Louisville Airport. That's nothing.
No. That's like going to lunch.
Yeah, it's
on a busy day.
Andrew was here yesterday for the Corn Ferry Tour Championship, brought to you by United Fidelity. I thought I got that memorized. Where he didn't write it down?
Oh, it's United Rentals, I believe, something.
Leasing.
Yeah, not Fidelity. I think my 401k. No.
Exactly. But you've been around the media scene, but covering a lot of Indy stuff. I've been up covering Colts already with camp going on. This gets you out of that for the last 2 days. You know, to do that. Yesterday was warm. Today it's not. It's like little Irish weather.
Yeah, for the Irish people.
For the fine Irishmen like myself.
Hey.
Patrick Coyle. But yeah, it was a fun day. Your team did not win, I noticed.
No, we did not, but we did win the day. Just not the score. That's
you won the day when you arrived.
No, absolutely. But I will say this: there were some shots in our group. No doubt. I mean,
what?
there were some shots on and off the court. No, it was we had a really good time. I'll tell you what though, we had someone in our group yesterday, Clay, who was literally in our foursome, had some pretty good shots.
Oh yeah. Well, you played very well. You drove the ball well.
Here's the issue with me though, Jim. My drive game right now is probably the best it's been in a long time.
That's not saying much.
It's not, because the bar was so low. But as soon as it gets down the middle of the fairway, and I'm like, okay, feeling good, have a good approach shot chunk.
Well,
Every time.
That's the story of my life. What are you talking
Yeah.
about? It's ever since I've been playing. But it's a fun day nonetheless. It was hot. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was hot. Those last 4 holes, I had to gut that one out. But it was awesome, and looking forward to coming back in October for this event. That will be fun. But before that, we've got college football season. We're less than a month to game 1, not to practice. Practice? We're talking about practice? Less than a month to game 1. You guys covered pretty much everything. You got Purdue, Indiana, a little bit of Notre Dame, I'm sure, and the Colts going on, and high school going on. And high school is huge. When those Friday nights start clicking, that's something I don't miss. I have to be honest with you.
See, I love Friday nights.
Well, they're fun.
It's an adrenaline
it
rush.
was just getting to all of these places.
Yeah. It's organized chaos.
Especially in a city like Indianapolis. I couldn't imagine it.
Well, luckily, we've got one of our team members in the sports department is very good at mapping out, okay, you're going to these 2 games because they're somewhat close. You're going to these 2. We're going to do this off of the stream. That takes, I don't even want to know how long just to map out, hey, we need to go get this. These are the 2 we got to get, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm just ready for football. This time of year right now I love right now, but I also get so tired of practices. Because we hear the same thing from every coach and player across the country. We worked hard this summer. I like where we're at. Let's get out to the games. Come on.
Well, you have to say, at least for Kurt Signetti, his press conferences are running around 7 minutes. That's not long.
No.
He's answering basic questions. He sets the tone. It's like, well, what do you want me to say here? Yesterday was yesterday. Today's today. So the old adage, we hope we got 1% better. But yeah, there's not a lot there, and there's not a lot to ask, to be honest with you. What's the difference going to be between day 1 and day 4? But I'm looking forward to the season. You know that I'm looking forward to the season. I actually put a wager down last night. I don't know if I'm going to say what it is or not, but
and this is true.
Yes.
I was standing next to him as the wager was put down.
It was the largest wager I have personally ever put down.
It's $2. It was wild.
And I had to use change.
Yes.
I had to dig through change. Talking about my bet last night, it was the largest wager I've ever personally put down. And I had to dig change out of my pocket, man. Brendan jumping back on with the headset.
So wait, what did you bet last night?
Well, the bet I made, I have the same bet with Brendan. As a matter of fact, that one will cost me a lot less if perhaps it does not come true.
Once the Hoosiers feel the pain of a leatherneck from Western Illinois University come on down, your toes are going to be quivering. You're going to be like, why did I do that? And we'll be saying, thank you, Jim Coyle, for keeping the lights on in French Lick, Indiana.
You don't. I can't believe you don't trust me on that one, but this shows that I don't know.
My wife always says she's from Bloomington. She went to Bloomington North.
You don't have anybody in the picture.
Anybody?
We're here in spirit.
Here we go. I got it here. Anybody invest all their time watching IU football is time you can never get back.
That has been the case before, and I'm not going to disagree with that. Everybody always says, "Oh, this is going to be different," and it's for what we're
the definition of insanity.
Doing the same thing, expecting a different result.
Exactly.
Absolutely. But they didn't do the same thing here. They actually hired a guy that has been uber success in Kurt Signetti. He is a no BS kind of a guy. I was just talking to Andrew. His post-practice press conferences are about 7 minutes long. He just is not going to waste a bunch of words on nothing. It's like,
because if you have nothing to talk about,
he's not one of those guys that's going to just sit there and BS talk. But it's not just that; their schedule is set up for it. The staff that came along with Kurt Signetti that has been with him for such a long time, and the success that he's had, and they've got a ton of good players in. They have one of the top, if not the best, receiving core in the Big Ten.
Get out.
Facts, brother. These are some of the kind of things you learn when you actually cover a team.
Okay, let's start off. Okay, over/under. Florida International.
You're asking me?
FIU.
Are you asking me if they're going to win that game?
Yeah.
About 3 touchdowns.
Okay.
Oh, we got the pen now, so we're about to start doing the
FIU plus
Man,
20.
I'm going to be held to every game.
All right. Western Illinois.
Your Leathernecks.
Yeah. Now I went to Eastern Illinois, so I'm a directional fan of except for
I'll
Northwestern.
go with another 3 touchdown win.
Plus 20. Okay. UCLA.
I'm
So
just going to go with the plus 7 win just because CYA. But I
so
think
UCLA
Indiana wins that game.
in California. So
See, that's a tricky game for me to pick because
Me too.
I think IU can win that game. There's no doubt. It's going to be interesting because they have to go all the way to UCLA.
That's the biggest bunch
yeah.
of crap.
But
Vanderbilt,
I do
think-
last year, Vanderbilt traveled all the way to Hawaii and kicked the ever-loving snot out of Hawaii. So I'm like, once I saw that, I'm like, screw this travel.
So
stuff.
the Bloomington International Airport will be heading to LA.
Yes.
Yes, on the Hoosier liner. So you say UCLA is going to be a win, and I'll give you 7 points.
Yeah.
Okay.
Another Charlotte after that.
and that's a win.
That's a non-con win.
Charlotte.
Yeah.
So how many? How many do you get?
That's 4-0. I'll go with 2 touchdowns.
So 14.
Just differentiate it a little bit.
I am a part of the Indiana Gaming Commission, so you have to place a bet for me.
Then you have Maryland at home in Bloomington.
Okay, so wait. September 28th. The time is to be determined. So you have Terrapins coming to Bloomington.
Yeah.
So what do you like there?
Indiana by plus 10.
Okay. And then they travel up to the temporary
The
stadium
pitch. Playing on the pitch, baby.
on the shores of Lake Michigan.
Will there be an inflatable Oregon duck just sitting in the bay for those Northwestern games?
I'm about done with that duck. I have news for
Is
you.
it still sitting in the river up in Indy?
No.
No, they took it to Indiana to Bloomington. Now, they had some fun with it, and part of that was funny. They were having him laying around, but they laid him on top of Hep's Rock, that's kind of a no-no. That's kind of off
Off the reservation?
Yeah, you don't touch that deal, and so that kind of
Oh,
aggravated. I think that picture will be in the locker room.
so okay, wait, we're at Northwestern, and so it's an away game, sort of like the first time stepping into real competition, according to you, because right now you have them 1, 2, 3. You're 1 win away from Coilville, right?
There is a path
There
to
is a
6
path
and
to
0.
6-0.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
So you think IU takes on Northwestern and wins?
Yeah, I'm going to go with it because
What's the number here? Is it a close game? Is it a blowout?
Or does it depend on the time of kickoff?
I'm going to make it a close game, 7.
Okay, this is great. And then after their
Back-to-back home games with Nebraska and Matt Rule coming in with his true freshman quarterback, which Nebraska is taking a step up this year, I believe. But you have a true freshman quarterback, and Brian Haynes and company are going to be sending the kitchen sink at that guy to make life miserable. DC, defensive coordinator for Indiana, Brian Haynes.
So is it a Hoosier victory?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dude, you just
So
won.
we're at 7-0.
Yeah. So wait, what's the
I-
score in Nebraska?
There's probably going to be a loss in these 8 games somewhere.
Well, we're at 7 right now.
I know.
So where are we at on Nebraska?
Well, that's I've got to
Gotta
give
be a
Indiana
tight
plus 7.
okay. All right, and then it
The
starts.
Washington team, I think they beat Washington by.
No, we're at next game is Michigan State.
No, Washington.
Oh, Washington. Okay, I'm sorry. And that's not Washington, Indiana, right? It's Washington.
Yeah,
University of Washington, not Washington.
They have really good apples up in that part of the country.
You like apples?
Yeah.
How about
Wine,
them apples?
it's wine country.
Yes.
You know
and
that?
you'll be whining because I think the old Huskies could be damaged.
Why? You realize they had completely obliterated that team. The entire coaching staff gone. Their team, all of their team of substance gone. You've got a new coach in Judd Fish from Arizona.
Okay.
So
What are the Hoosiers doing here?
They're winning.
Okay. By how many?
Saturday was going to get put on the spot by that today.
Come on, man.
Oh, you should always with Brendan. You should always be prepared for it.
I'll just go with 7. I'll make it easy on myself.
Oh my gosh. All right. So now we head north.
El Diablo.
The green and white juggernaut of Michigan State University.
That's a winnable game, but they have to lose someplace.
Michigan State's always that team. It's like once every 4 years they're really good. Is this going to be?
But
that
Indiana has had great success against Michigan State.
Yes.
Even when they've been terrible the last couple of years, you go up with a quarterback that can't even throw the ball. He throws 2 times in the whole game, and they still manage to win.
This is a start to be a November to remember. November 2nd, East Lansing. Hoosiers win or lose. Because right now you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You're in the money. You just doubled your money in French Lick, Indiana.
Right.
So
that $2 bet is now paying $4.
Yes. $4, baby. $4. Got to take a loss somewhere. I'm going to take a loss there.
Okay. So we got your first loss right there. So I'll take Michigan State, and I'll go plus 14. All right, and now we stay with the theme of Michigan. The Big Blue comes. When was the last time Michigan was played at IU?
Not that long ago. They lost the last time they played in Bloomington, as a matter of fact.
Wow.
A couple of years ago.
Should we start playing some Springsteen, little glory days coming up here?
I'm talking about just a couple of years ago. Indiana beat them, and Michigan is going to be in trouble. Michigan is
no. Harbaugh's gone.
Not only is Harbaugh gone, every day here of late, the NCAA has come out with new allegations, including a level 2 against Sharon Moore, their new coach. They've still got stuff going on up there. And if everything that they did last year, though, did not impact them and prevent them from winning a national championship, I don't know what this is going to do. But they're still digging, man. Michigan is.
This will not be a distraction for them during the season. It wasn't last year. It's not going to be this year. Now, with that being said, I think there's clearly sort of an NCAA issue of how do we handle this.
So we have a Hoosier win or loss?
Well, it's at home too. Right now, I'd have to put it down as a loss, but
all right,
that's very good.
I'll go 8 points there. I'll take Michigan.
Ohio State's. I'll go ahead and give the loss up on that one.
All right. And then the battle of
they beat Oak and Bucket. They beat Purdue.
It's in Bloomington this year.
Yeah, in Bloomington, no doubt.
All right, so we're at Purdue with a win. How many are we winning by here?
14.
So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 3 Hoosiers. 9 and 3 gets you to where? What bowl game?
A good bowl. That would put you in.
You're
in Florida.
Wow, like Citrus Bowl in Orlando.
Citrus Bowl,
dude, my house, man. Tailgate at the Swing Dog Palace.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, nine is definitely ambitious.
I got to take a picture of this thing and just bug your ass.
I'm going to put you on the spot now too, since you've got them winning 9 games. When was the last time the Hoosiers won 9?
1968.
That would be it, and the only time. I don't think they've ever won double-digit games. Of course, they used to only play 10 games. Back when they won the 9, they only played 10, I think. So I don't believe that they have ever won 10 or more games.
Well, let's
it's a fun history stat right there.
It is, but 9 is definitely ambitious, but it is also doable.
Here's the thing: when you look at their schedule,
10 is actually doable.
Their schedule, there are so many opportunities to get wins. I mean, there's no question about it. Now, but we have an answer.
In 1945, the Hoosiers achieved their only unbeaten season of 9-0-1. Coach McMillan, title man of the year.
They could get that damn 10th win, even when they're undefeated.
Yeah,
That's high.
Yeah.
Aren't you glad there's no more ties in college?
Oh, I hate that was as dumb as the NBA rule that you use the timeout and move the ball halfway up the floor.
How many Big Ten championships have the Hoosiers won
In what?
in football?
2,
Yep. Congratulations.
45 and 68.
Look at you.
You know who was on that 45 team?
No.
Well, first you have George Taliaferro, who was the first African American drafted into the
He was 68.
NFL. That was, I don't know when George. No, he was on the 45 team.
Was he?
Yes, and he was on there with Ted Klaczewski.
Oh, the swinging
former
pole.
Cincinnati Red.
Well, there we go.
So yeah, kind of wild, but there you have some history there. But it's a different day in college football. The bigs are still the bigs. I mean, Ohio State is still Ohio State. Michigan should still be Michigan, but they've got their, they're putting their own selves at risk with what they had going on.
And
But,
they have a new quarterback. I mean, that's the elephant.
Yeah, new everything.
Yeah, you're losing JJ McCarthy. The schedule, I mean, really.
JJ McCarthy, who went to what high school, by the way? I'll give it up. Nazareth Academy in Lamont, Illinois. My buddy Tim Racky, who I played high school football with, was his high school coach. The Rack. He was a great guy.
We got all kinds of trivia busting out here. That's what I like about having the ensemble. I know virtually nothing, and so
we know
exactly. That's why I'm kind of encouraging the group session. This has been a little bit of a fun day, but let's take a quick break. We've got one more segment, and before I'm sure these guys got to get heading to work. But you're listening to Indiana Sports Beat Radio here this Wednesday. Jim Coyle with you alongside Brendan Sweeney and Andrew Chernoff. Right now, Brendan Sweeney with Fred Slick and Andrew from Wish TV in Indianapolis. We're back with more right after this.
If you're looking for a home in the Indianapolis area, you need Cheryl Sizemore from RE/MAX Advanced Realty. Cheryl Sizemore has over 2 decades of experience, and that could be the difference in you getting the home you want in today's tough housing market. Reach out to Cheryl Sizemore from RE/MAX Advanced Realty at cheryl@indiehomepros.com or 317-298-0961. Cheryl Sizemore from RE/MAX Advanced Realty. Let Cheryl Sizemore get you in the home you want today. Cheryl@indiehomepros.com. Whether it's a night out with the family, after work with colleagues, or catching the game with friends, Bubba's 33 is the place for you. Bubba's 33 offers a mouthwatering menu of selections that are all made from scratch every day. The portions are big, but the prices are small. And with over 50 big screen TVs, you'll never miss the big game. Bubba's 33. Pizza, burgers, beer.
Country living is just a swing away. It can be hard to find the exact home that fits your family's needs, so there couldn't be a better time to build a new home with Property Shore Construction. Now building exclusively south of Bloomington within the Stonecrest Golf community. Choose from one of the gorgeous Stonecrest Signature Series house plans. We have several lots available with scenic views of the golf course. Contact Amy Rhoda with Revesco Real Estate for additional information. 812-583-0919 or go to mystonecrestliving.com. That's mystonecrestliving.com for more details.
Know a team or group needing a fundraiser? Boost Fundraising raises more money faster and offers the most unique and user-friendly online fundraiser in the nation. Your team receives personalized fundraising pages for each team member. Free team-branded promo gifts shipped to each donor. Boost Fundraising does it all. Sports teams, marching bands, charity causes, and community groups. Go to boostfundraising.com and be sure to enter the promo code COYLE, that's COYLE, to receive a discounted fundraiser.
Looking for someone to cater your next corporate event, family reunion, or tailgate? To some, a garnish may be nothing more than just a decoration put last on a plate. But in Bloomington, catering starts with Garnish Catering. Serving all of Bloomington and surrounding areas, Garnish Catering is waiting to help make your next event one to remember. Planning a great event shouldn't have to be stressful. Whether we quote you just for catering or a total event package, you can trust that you're making the right choice with Garnish Catering. Visit garnishcatering.com. That's garnishcatering.com. Garnish Catering is a proud partner of WOW Food Group.
In the market for a new or used vehicle? Well, nobody beats the prices and selection of Andy Moore Honda in Bloomington. Right now, get a brand new Honda with no payments for 90 days. That's right, 2023 and 2024 Honda Pilots, HRVs, CRVs, Honda Ridgelines, payment-free for 90 days. Or get 0.9% APR financing for 36 months on a 2023 Honda Ridgeline. Go to AndyMooreHonda.com and get more to your door.
This segment is brought to you by Freethink Apparel.
Rock climbing.
Welcome back, Indiana Sports Beat Radio here on this Wednesday, still at the Mansion at the P. Course at French Lake Resort Casino, and I am getting hammered on my picks.
There it is right there.
I would normally not have
9-3.
Indiana to go 9-3, but
9-3.
Had my hand held to the fire, and my heart number is still 7. But
so if any of your listeners out there,
when they start,
they could go to betrivers.com, and it's our online gaming at French Lake Resort, and you too could live the fantasy life of Jim Coyle.
I have the receipt in my pocket.
The Hoosiers going 9-3.
I didn't. Thank God. That is not the bet that I made. I'll tell you. I did not bet that they go 9-3, but I did.
Are you just trying to get a better parking pass at Memorial Stadium there?
They're not going to give me a better parking spot. I'm going to be out behind Mellencamp Center still, walking in there. There it is, baby. I'm not going to tell you what it is. You can't read it from there either, but it is.
What is that thing?
It is real.
It is real. Wow. November 30th at 6 p.m.
We'll know.
I will be sitting here, baby, collecting.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, if you do win, we really encourage you to come back to the casino.
Well, I have to come back to catch it, don't I?
Yeah.
We actually had that discussion last night. I'm like, I could do this on one of my apps. And I think you actually said it, Andrew. Said, well.
But I also was trying to convince you to come back.
Yeah.
And I said, well, that's always a great excuse to come back down here. And that's why I'm like, that's perfect. So I feel now I'm more confident with my bet than I am with this, but I'm not. 9 is ambitious. 8 is.
I think you want to go after any other Hoosier sports at all?
Basketball is too hard to pick right now. I think Indiana's going to be a favorite in the Big Ten. They have to be.
What is your assessment of Coach Woodson? What's his fourth year?
Oh, I'm not stepping into that deal just yet. His future is going to be determined this season. Well, they have to do well, and by doing well, they have to be in the second weekend of the NCAA tournament.
Sweet 16.
Minimum, if not Elite 8, but it has to be a Sweet 16 appearance. Another first weekend does nothing. It's like, okay, you're supposed to do that. That's supposed to be par. That's how it should be every year. You've got to do something better, especially with all the talent they brought in, the money that has been spent, and it's year 4. It does not take 4 years to do that anymore with the transfer portal and the NIL and all that.
Well, do you think the transfer portal has weakened the recruiting process of developing players? Because now you can't get the junior in high school, 6-footer, 7-footer, whatever coming out of Effingham, Illinois.
Always Illinois. Always Illinois.
And
it's always effing Illinois.
Effingham.
Yeah.
And no, but
is there a restaurant named there's a famous restaurant in Effingham, Illinois, right?
I'm shy. Yeah.
Effing restaurant?
Yeah, like something like that.
Probably.
I love this effing place.
Yeah.
The effing place to be.
Yes. Hey, that's a nice effing shirt you got on. No, but now are you like as a recruiter, as a coach, you're looking like last year at Stetson University in DeLand, Florida, had a great run. They made it to the dance. And next thing you know, they go through the dance and their team gets dissected. And they're all what does that do to the Stetsons or the University of Charlotte or whatever
they're now the minor leagues.
Yeah.
It's they're developing the talent and it gets siphoned off. But where it has hurt, especially in basketball, you see that. Boy, those guys get sucked up. but I think it has helped lower upper programs, if that makes sense, like Indiana. It's allowing them to broaden out a little wider to get a little bit more talent. And I think that, like the Big Ten this year, I think it's going to be a lot of
Big 18.
parity. No, that's true.
Yeah, are they? I mean,
No,
at this
we're not
point-
changing the name. No, it's the Big Ten Conference. Doesn't matter that there's 10 or 50. It's the Big Ten Conference, just as if it's the Southeastern Conference. They've got Texas and
we should count the states. Maybe it's a Big Ten state. So California, Washington.
well, it's the Big Ten and the Little Eight now. Once you get past 10 teams, those 8, you're a little shaky. So
From the golf point of view, that's sort of what I know of. We've hosted 7 Big Ten championships here, and then now you have 18 teams that are going to play. I mean, you have to have like a qualifying round just to make it to your championship because you can't
some
have
teams are no longer going to be able to play in the Big Ten basketball tournament. I think aren't they taking so many, or did they? I know they added a day, but I believe.
almost like a mini tournament.
Well, typically,
I believe
historically
they,
speaking, everyone plays in a basketball. Everyone's at least guaranteed one game.
Yeah,
But
but I don't know why I'm thinking that rule.
But that's the less money for these conferences. Why would you? That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
No, who's tuning in to watch the 2 last place teams play?
Doesn't matter.
Well, the alumni.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Penn State does
Maybe
not
the
have
IU
alumni
football team
watching
shows up.
basketball. They don't. Penn State alumni don't care about, and they have the largest alumni.
They're a diehard basketball school. Come on now.
Oh, I know. They way back. They go way back. But no, I think that the Big Ten has limited.
How do you think when they're in Vegas, that's going to be that 1 year when they have the conference tournament out there?
It's a
I
good
think
question.
it'll be okay, but it's definitely just to appease them 1 year, and then it's going to move back to the Midwest.
Well-
Like I know long term they'll never go back out there.
That's probably going to be a once every 5-6 year thing and rotate it kind of back and forth. But I noticed with the women's tournament, they're moving it to Detroit 1 year, which that would be I was thinking Detroit, what the hell?
But location wise, Detroit's perfect for it.
Yeah.
I mean, you got Michigan. Everything's still in the Midwest when you're in Detroit. It's not like you're going to Minnesota, which was a disastrous decision for them to host conference tournaments out
But
there.
although it's sold out there.
There's nothing else going on.
Exactly.
Well, the women's tournament did.
Yes.
Men's tournament was atrocious.
I wouldn't know. You
I
know what?
wouldn't either, but
I
based
didn't
on-
know. Because I'm like,
No
I'm
one
not
else
going
did
back
either.
to Minnesota again. But yeah, that was all due to the
Go for it.
operation. So, but I'm looking forward to it. When Indiana went to Las Vegas to play Arizona 2 years ago, that should have been, and it was, an 80-20 fan ratio of schools. But with Arizona being 2 hours away, it should have been Arizona with 80% of the fans. It was not. It was Indiana's fans that made up 80% in the MGM Gardens arena. That was mind-boggling to me. Arizona, 2 hours, the campus like 2 hours away or whatever. Indiana crushed them on attendance. So Indiana basketball fans, they travel. They
And
will travel.
it's any excuse to go to Vegas for 2 or 3 days like you're going to have a bunch of your classmates that were in the class of, in your case, 1930, that will fly out there and all hang out.
That wasn't a Rose Bowl year either.
No,
Yeah, I'm getting to go to the Rose Bowl at least.
oh, so
won't.
you're going to UCLA again.
Well, yes.
Nice.
I know you won't be going. Of
But I'll be watching.
course you won't be.
Let me know how that stadium is. I do
You'll
want to
be
know.
watching Indiana Sports Beat content.
There we go.
That's right. Looking forward to it. You should come out to LA. Plenty of nice golf courses out there.
I've done my time there, and this. I'm an East Coast guy.
I hear you, brother.
Don't travel west of the Mississippi anymore.
I think we're already got to make sure we don't go too long because I am bad about that. But I'm hitting that on the mark. Brendan Sweeney, I cannot thank you enough, brother. Thank you for everything.
I gotta do
It's
some
been
work
a
to pay for
blast. You got the picture of it. I can't believe he took a picture of that.
Oh yeah, yeah. Don't worry about it. It's all good. It'll give me something to do in the fall.
Yeah, and
Brendan will be like, watch, but he'll be watching every game.
that's because he's looking
Time you can never get back.
Look at my donation that I possibly made to French Lick, the caddy scholarship, maybe to pull it over to the caddy.
You're doing it for the kids. We appreciate
right.
Your nest egg burning down here in Orange County. Yes, Orange County, Indiana. Thanks you. I personally thank you guys for coming down.
Dude,
thanks for your support.
As always.
Andrew, it's always great seeing you, man. Hopefully we catch a Cincinnati Bengal game. Watch number 64 Teddy Karras from Cathedral High School.
Speaking of Cathedral, how about Mr. Cole Hocker? We'll talk more about him, but he was a 21-1 long shot, wins the 1,500 meters.
Oh, is that kid?
Olympic gold, baby. Yeah. Olympic gold.
Out of nowhere, man. That was awesome.
Kid from Cathedral High School in Indianapolis, another Indiana Olympian.
This state has crushed it during the Olympics. It's been awesome.
It's been an incredible thing to see. You've had Indiana with a ton of guys in there. Purdue had a couple of athletes in it as well. But
also, how cool, Lily King's last swim, world record gold medal. That's awesome.
Crazy.
Also, these sports, we've been glancing up at the rock climbing. I'm sorry, rock climbing, breakdancing.
Breakdancing.
Like, there's a lot. What are we doing?
Skateboarding?
We're waiting for pickleball. Pickleball.
Well, that's
pickleball.
Well,
it's coming. I'm kidding about wanting it. I've never played pickleball. I'm like Charles Barkley. That's for old people, man. I ain't playing no damn pickleball.
Oh, we said somebody went down to the hurdles.
Nice.
Oh.
Well, we appreciate you here on this first hour. We've got a lot more coming up. Brendan Sweeney from French Lick, and
see what's it again here. Down goes.
Back with more Indiana Sports Beat Radio.
Down some roads there.
In the market for a new or used vehicle? Well, nobody beats the prices and selection of Andy Moore Honda in Bloomington. Right now, get a brand new Honda with no payments for 90 days. That's right, 2023 and 2024 Honda Pilots, HRVs, CRVs, Honda Ridgelines, payment-free for 90 days. Or get 0.9% APR financing for 36 months on a 2023 Honda Ridgeline. Go to AndyMooreHonda.com and get more to your door.
Looking for someone to cater your next corporate event, family reunion, or tailgate? To some, a garnish may be nothing more than just a decoration put last on a plate. But in Bloomington, catering starts with Garnish Catering. Serving all of Bloomington and surrounding areas, Garnish Catering is waiting to help make your next event one to remember. Planning a great event shouldn't have to be stressful. Whether we quote you just for catering or a total event package, you can trust that you're making the right choice with Garnish Catering. Visit garnishcatering.com. That's garnishcatering.com. Garnish Catering is a proud partner of WOW Food Group.
If you're looking for a home in the Indianapolis area, you need Cheryl Sizemore from RE/MAX Advanced Realty. Cheryl Sizemore has over 2 decades of experience, and that could be the difference in you getting the home you want in today's tough housing market. Reach out to Cheryl Sizemore from RE/MAX Advanced Realty at cheryl@indyhomepros.com or 317-298-0961. Cheryl Sizemore from RE/MAX Advanced Realty. Let Cheryl Sizemore get you in the home you want today. Cheryl@indyhomepros.com. Whether it's a night out with the family, after work with colleagues, or catching the game with friends, Bubba's 33 is the place for you. Bubba's 33 offers a mouth-watering menu of selections that are all made from scratch every day. The portions are big, but the prices are small. And with over 50 big screen TVs, you'll never miss the big game. Bubba's 33, pizza, burgers, beer. The Ugly Grouper, located on beautiful Anna Marie in Florida, is the place to be, and not just because they have unforgettable meals, including locally sourced seafood. The Ugly Grouper has your favorite craft beers and cocktails, along with live music every day. The Ugly Grouper is family-friendly, able to host private parties, and has the biggest grouper you've ever seen. The Ugly Grouper is the place to be on Anna Marie Island, Florida. Tell them Indiana Sports Beat sent you. Go to theuglygrouper.com for more information.
Country living is just a swing away. It can be hard to find the exact home that fits your family's needs, so there couldn't be a better time to build a new home with Property Shore Construction. Now building exclusively south of Bloomington within the Stonecrest Golf community. Choose from one of the gorgeous Stonecrest Signature Series house plans. We have several lots available with scenic views of the golf course. Contact Amy Rhoda with Revesco Real Estate for additional information. 812-583-0919 or go to mystonecrestliving.com. That's mystonecrestliving.com for more details. Segment is brought to you by Hoosier Hanks East.
Welcome back, Indiana Sports Beat Radio here on this Wednesday. I am down at the beautiful Die Course at French Lick Resort and Casino in French Lick, Indiana. We were here for the media event day for the Corn Ferry Tour Championship, brought to you by United Fidelity Leasing, which will take place this fall here at French Lick in early October. Looking forward to that event, their 20th championship that they have hosted here at French Lick. So that'll be fun. And what a fun time that was with Brendan and Andrew there, just having a blast. I could do that every day. That makes it a lot easier for me. They got all those people that are a lot smarter and a lot funnier than I am, for sure. But it is cool to be able to sit here and watch the replay of the Olympics while we do this. See Team USA last night with a win over Brazil as they continue on their torrid pace towards the gold medal. No doubt that should happen, but looking forward to that. A fun conversation regarding football. I've got my feet held to the fire now. We ended up with a 9-3 mark. Am I going to predict that they win 9 games? No, because that would be the acme of a fool. But I don't know that it is, because I'm not one that is always that comes out every year says, "Oh, they're going to do this, they're going to do that," because I didn't believe it. But now it's a different belief in what's going on this year. Kyle Neddenriep from the Indy Star joining us now. Kyle, how are you doing today, my friend?
Good. How you doing, Jim?
Good. And no way to start this segment out without talking about Cole Hocker, the Cathedral High School grad who will be bringing a big fat gold medal home to Indianapolis after a big win in the 1500. He was a 21-1 long shot. I didn't know they had odds on long distance running in the Olympics.
They have odds on everything, I think, now, according to my email inbox. But yeah, quite a exciting. Honestly, I knew he was going to run, and then kind of lost track of time and missed it by like 20 minutes probably to go back and watch it live. But yeah, watched it shortly after, and David Woods for us is over there covering it, and he knows a heck of a lot more about all this than I do. But I did covered Cole a little bit in high school. Remember interviewing him a couple times, and just awesome to see somebody from here, have that success. And what a thrilling race that was. I mean, it looked like he was sort of, nudged out and sort of his path was blocked. And then all of a sudden he's just, taken over there at the end and just barely hanging on. And, but yeah, super cool. I mean, that was such a thrilling race. It was just awesome.
Yeah. And just a huge thing for someone like Cole, who just a hometown guy, but obviously he's been very, very successful in his discipline for quite some time. I don't know that it's shocking that he wins the gold medal, but I guess it's shocking anytime you win a gold medal. Winning a gold medal is one of the most difficult things in sports. It doesn't, unless you're playing badminton or breakdancing. But yeah, that's because, especially long distance running, Americans have not exactly lit the world on fire in that discipline. A lot of other countries have caught up and surpassed, but that's a huge win for an American kid.
Yeah, when you write stories about these people, the gold medalist Olympian is in the first sentence of every story from here to eternity for Cole Hocker. So, it's in some ways unfair to have your sort of your life story come down to like 5 seconds, basically. But on the other hand, it shows everything that led up to that, for him and his journey. And obviously he's been great, since high school, but you never think like, oh man, that guy's a gold medalist at some point. That's just something so far out there that doesn't even seem attainable, I'm sure, to even the athletes probably at some point. But yeah, that's those few moments yesterday are just something that will stay with him the rest of his life, in a good way. So that's the cool part about it. And you sort of become this, everyone, probably going into yesterday, Cole Hocker was known in the, in the track circles, and obviously people have known about him for several years in that area. But now, you see all this stuff on social media yesterday, and, everybody knows Cole Hocker's name now. So that's the cool part about it, is now he's become this name that, is sort of something that, people rally around, and certainly the way it happened. And then, like you said, just, the event that he won. I love, watching track is probably the highlight for me of the Olympics. Just everything about it is fun. It makes great TV. I mean, it's you have compelling races. You have, you have names that, people at least recognize to a certain point, especially in the sprints and things like that. But yeah, I mean, just super cool. I mean, I was really happy to see that happen for him.
Well, and not only that, it's a great kind of a underdog story. I mean, there was a lot of hype going into this race with the two favorites. He was not one of those two, and they were the race at the beginning and for the 3 quarters. But he pulled the old rope-a-dope on those guys and let them kind of get out there and battle each other. And they didn't weather the storm quite as well, but Cole Hocker did, and he took advantage of that. And not only gets the win and a gold medal, but he sets an Olympic record in doing so.
Yeah, and I thought the announcers did a good job. They were sort of saying like, hey, if Cole Hocker can stay close here, he's got the closing kick that can win it. And and they mentioned that a few times, and then you're kind of like, man, maybe he's too far back, and then when he sort of got edged out, you're kind of like, well, that's probably going to be the end of it. And then he had that closing kick to him that he just kind of took off, from there. And it was close. I mean, it was never felt like he was running away from it by any means, but just had enough, had enough. He had more than anybody else had. And that's kind of what the announcers, did a good job kind of preparing us for. And, David Woods had he recorded his, is basically like a radio call of it yesterday, and his passion for covering track and field is beyond the pay. I mean, he's just such a champion for the sport. And
I bet he was going crazy.
Oh, it was great. It was like a horse race.
I was going to say, I bet it was just like one of the Triple Crown races. That down the stretch, Cole Hocker on the outside.
It was. You have to check it out. I mean, it was basically that. So yeah, it was really cool. So cool for him to be there and see it, and obviously a whole nother level for Cole, to win it. So that's awesome.
ESPN called it one of the major upset victories of the Paris Games. Cole Hocker said that I kind of told myself that I'm in this race too. If they let me fly under the radar, then so be it. I think that might have just been the best. And he was right. He fought and stayed in it. And boy, they left the door cracked open, and he took advantage at the right time and had the power to do it.
Yeah, I mean, just super cool. We're happy for him.
Absolutely. Any other Indiana area Olympians, Paris Olympians that besides obviously the Lily Kings and the IU contingent and all of that we haven't talked a lot about?
You'd have to. I mean, I'm not following
David
this.
Woods. Yeah, David Woods has all that. I get it, because that's a lot. That's a lot to keep up with, because there are a large number of those. So
I know Mason Paris from Lawrenceburg in wrestling we actually have a story up on him this morning, and he's a guy that in wrestling, I think he's going to be a guy who can contend. That's coming up. I know obviously there's been, like you said, the swimming part of it is I don't know, is swimming complete now? I think it's at least close, if not. But
I think that it is. It's got to be. Yeah. We're in the last week here, last few days, as a matter of fact. Basketball still moving forward. Team USA with a win over Brazil last night. What do they have? 2 more games to play? Probably?
Yeah, they had semifinals and championships. So that is something I've been following, probably more than a lot of the stuff I'm just kind of watching as it comes and then following it at that point. But yeah, basketball is definitely, in Canada, losing was a big deal. I think that was a team that could potentially hang with the USA, if not beat them. And there's obviously teams out there. Brazil was not the best challenge, obviously, as we saw, but they have been pushed a little bit at various times, and I think they're starting to come together, though. And obviously, you always hope USA in basketball is the champion, but it's such a worldwide game now that in the shorter quarters and just sort of the variances of the international game, maybe work against the USA to a certain point when you have the most talent. But it'll be interesting. Playing France in the gold medal would be awesome. Playing on basically in their home and beating them, I'm kind of hoping for that to happen. But who knows?
The one bad thing about that is every time you end up seeing a sport that has the home team in it, always leery of that, baby. And I don't care who it is or what sport it is. They could have never done anything in that sport. But if you put the home team in there, it's like they always have a shot.
Yeah, France has been getting a lot of calls. I'll say that. They've been getting a very kind whistle over there. So, but I kind of want to see it just for the, to see how that unfolds. I don't know. Germany's probably the best, challenge, I would say, for the USA. So I think that's probably what it would end up being. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, all these teams that are left now, obviously, you get to the semifinals and everybody's a quality team at this point. And I think you could say probably the overall depth, maybe 1 through 8 wasn't quite. But once you get down to 1 through 4, I think you get a pretty good group. I thought, honestly, thought Canada would be one of those 4, and was a little bit leery of that potential matchup. But Germany, I think, will still be, if that ends up being the matchup, I think that would be a quality opponent, and we'll see. I don't know, Germany, France, how that will end up going, but I kind of like the way USA has been playing here, and obviously the last couple of games haven't been, Puerto Rico wasn't probably wasn't quite as the good of a team as maybe they have been in the past, and they got through them, and now on to the semifinals. So we'll see what happens, but it seems like they're kind of finding their stride right now. And Serbia is going to be a challenge too. I wouldn't look past them either, because obviously they have one of the best players in the world, and that'll be a challenge also in the semifinal, which I think is that tomorrow, I believe, or
it's got to be getting close because the Olympics close this weekend, and with 2 games yet to play Thursday, I would think Thursday, Saturday finish.
Yeah, I think it's Thursday.
I would imagine that to be the case. Brian pointing out they hung 122 on Brazil last night on cruise control. They're locked in now. I think when they played the South Sudan in that game that was extraordinarily close, and then in the first half against them the second time when they kind of pushed them, it really kind of locked them in to remind them that, hey, we're the best, but you can't take a breath. You can't lean back for a second because somebody will push you backwards, and that's the truth. So they just started locking it in. But when they're locked in, there is no team that can beat them.
No, and it's I agree. And sometimes with this team, you've seen it a little bit with lineup changes and getting some energy. Like Anthony Edwards has had a couple really good spurts, and Durant's played awesome. He's been really, really tough, and he's maybe the key to them ending up taking the gold. I mean, obviously there's a lot of guys on this team who can take over at any moment, but I thought that the second time they played South Sudan, the more recent game, and South Sudan kind of had a little bit of momentum going. There was a couple fouls where I'm like, man, they're kind of borderline, a little bit, kind of taking it to the edge. And then LeBron kind of knocked a guy down with a forearm, and AD got into a guy into the chest. And, it's like, okay, here they've got their attention now, and they kind of dominated from that point on. So kind of a good, just sort of like, hey, you can't let these guys push you around. These guys play, they're playing college level and professional level over here for the most part, all these countries. So, they've got guys who aren't afraid like they used to be. This isn't 30 years ago. These players are, just like I said, it's more of a worldwide game than ever right now.
Absolutely. What's up next for you, Kyle?
Just a ton of football stuff, and got stuff. We had Mr. Football sort of a watch list this morning. We got our Coaches Confidential series started Monday. We got 4 of those. Another one coming tomorrow. The first one was on what they thought about a free one-time transfer. Tomorrow's will be about seeding. Did a lot of preview stuff. Our super teams will be out, I believe, next week at some point. So just a lot of football, and then, keeping up with some basketball. And obviously, the visits are a little bit quiet right now, but we did have, Trey Singleton put out his list. Braylon Mullins took his UConn visit. So we've had some stuff on that as well.
Trent Sisley leaves for Montverde Academy tomorrow, by the way, as well. So that happening. Kyle Neddenriep from the Indy Star. Make sure you're giving him a follow and keeping up with all things high school sports in Indiana with the Indy Star. Appreciate you, my friend.
You bet. Thanks, Jim.
You betcha. Hey, up next, Rick Bozich, our good friend, joins us. Brought to you by Boost Fundraising. We're back with more on Indiana Sports Beat Radio and Rick Bozich right after this.
Enjoy healthy, delicious meals at home without the hassle with the Fresh Fork. Chef-curated, ready-made meals delivered right to your doorstep. Proudly fueling IU athletes and now available to you with a menu that's always fresh and diverse, from hearty proteins to fresh salads. The Fresh Fork empowers you to make better food choices without compromising. Let the Fresh Fork help transform your lifestyle for a healthier way of living today at thefreshforkonline.com. Use promo code RADIO20 and get $20 off your first order.
Country living is just a swing away. It can be hard to find the exact home that fits your family's needs, so there couldn't be a better time to build a new home with Property Shore Construction. Now building exclusively south of Bloomington within the Stonecrest Golf community. Choose from one of the gorgeous Stonecrest Signature Series house plans. We have several lots available with scenic views of the golf course. Contact Amy Rhoda with Revesco Real Estate for additional information. 812-583-0919 or go to mystonecrestliving.com. That's mystonecrestliving.com for more details.
Whether it's a night out with the family, after work with colleagues, or catching the game with friends, Bubba's 33 is the place for you. Bubba's 33 offers a mouthwatering menu of selections that are all made from scratch every day. The portions are big, but the prices are small. And with over 50 big screen TVs, you'll never miss the big game. Bubba's 33. Pizza, burgers, beer.
Looking for someone to cater your next corporate event, family reunion, or tailgate? To some, a garnish may be nothing more than just a decoration put last on a plate. But in Bloomington, catering starts with Garnish Catering. Serving all of Bloomington and surrounding areas, Garnish Catering is waiting to help make your next event one to remember. Planning a great event shouldn't have to be stressful. Whether we quote you just for catering or a total event package, you can trust that you're making the right choice with Garnish Catering. Visit garnishcatering.com. That's garnishcatering.com. Garnish Catering is a proud partner of WOW Food Group.
If you're looking for a home in the Indianapolis area, you need Cheryl Sizemore from RE/MAX Advanced Realty. Cheryl Sizemore has over 2 decades of experience, and that could be the difference in you getting the home you want in today's tough housing market. Reach out to Cheryl Sizemore from RE/MAX Advanced Realty at cheryl@indyhomepros.com or 317-298-0961. Cheryl Sizemore from RE/MAX Advanced Realty. Let Cheryl Sizemore get you in the home you want today. Cheryl at indyhomepros.com. In the market for a new or used vehicle? Well, nobody beats the prices and selection of Andy Moore Honda in Bloomington. Right now, get a brand new Honda with no payments for 90 days. That's right, 2023 and 2024 Honda Pilots, HRVs, CRVs, Honda Ridgelines, payment free for 90 days. Or get 0.9% APR financing for 36 months on a 2023 Honda Ridgeline. Go to AndyMooreHonda.com and get more to your door.
This segment is brought to you by the Fresh Fork in Bloomington.
Welcome back, Indiana Sports Beat Radio on this Wednesday. Thank you so much for being with us. As always, we greatly appreciate you. Rick Bozich joining us now. Ricky, how are you, sir?
I'm good, baby. The streak is over.
I was getting ready to ask because I did not get to look. Did they get to 21? So, no, it ends at 20. What is it with 20? The A's win 20. They matched the old winning streak back in the day under Billy Bean. And speaking of which, the untimely passing of Billy Bean.
That's a different Billy Bean.
Oh, it was?
Yeah. Billy Bean, who's the general manager with the A's, is still alive. This is Billy Bean, who was a Major League Baseball player and was the second player, gay player to come out in the major leagues, and then worked with the major leagues on helping other players, gay players, make their way in the game and deal with issues in the game. That's the gentleman who died. So it's a different Billy Bean. But
how crazy is it to have two guys so high up in Major League Baseball with such a unique name?
Yeah. Billy Bean is still going strong with the A's, though, the other Billy Bean. And the White Sox got to 21 straight losses on Monday, and last night they finally won a game. 22. They tied the Orioles for the longest losing streak in American League history, stopped too short of the Phillies' all-time Major League record of 23.
Man, where it was toilet paper flying and the confetti flying last night in Chicago and on the South Side.
The seven of us that still watch, we were all very happy. So,
Brendan, are you a White Sox fan?
Only when they're losing.
Well, you've been a fan a lot lately because Brendan Sweeney, media relations director here at Friend Slick, he's in Illinois. He's an Illini-er, not from Illinois, but
I am not an Illini. I'm an Eastern Illinois Panther. Yes.
Okay.
Rick Bozich from WDRB.com, formerly with the Courier Journal, of course.
Hey, man, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. So the Sox finally got the monkey off their back, I hear.
5-1. Yeah, it was a blowout.
The only thing I wish is why I keep forgetting it, the former manager that does the postgame show, Ozzie Guillen. I would have loved to have heard every postgame show for like the last 10.
I was in Chicago last week, and he was on the score up there talking about the White Sox. Oh, they're terrible, man. They're terrible. We got to get rid of them all. I'd fire them all. And he was just going to town. And the hard thing is with Ozzie is he's so passionate, but his English is hard to hear.
It's brutal,
and it's fun. But hey, congratulations for the White Sox. Now they have nothing to look forward to.
Now they got to win. The magic number is now 13. They got to get to 41 wins to eclipse the Mets' all-time worst season of 40 wins. So we always have goals.
Oh, so you got that going for you.
We're a high-achieving organization. They play the other team in town this weekend, so those are important games.
Are you in Chicago right now?
Yeah. Well,
no,
I'm from the region. He's a region rat.
I'm from Gary.
I'm sorry.
Hey, only the strong survive, Gary.
Yeah. God, I remember driving through Gary as a kid with the smokestacks from the steel mills.
He worked there. Rick worked at one of those, didn't you?
I worked at Inland Steel in East Chicago, Indiana Harbor. Yes, I did. 3 summers. Best thing I ever did. Really taught me that's not what I wanted to do the rest of my life.
Well, there you go. I dated a gal from Hegewisch, the Alphabet Street.
South Chicago, big Polish community.
Oh yeah. Totally.
It's like Camp Kramnik in Detroit.
Eric Anderson's cousin, I believe.
Really?
Yeah.
That's right. He was an Illinois guy.
Yeah. Hegewisch. Southside.
Very cool. Well, what do White Sox fans have to cheer for now? I mean, besides hoping to just break that streak, because I guess just not being the worst, we have to get Kevin Brockway on, big Mets fan.
The biggest thing we have to cheer for is Jerry Reinsdorf selling the team, because nothing's going to change until that happens.
I can't believe he still owns the team.
Well, like I said, they have games with the Cubs on Friday and Saturday, and then the rest of the way to see if they can get to 40 victories so they don't have the worst all-time record in baseball.
And then there's my Reds that continue to do outstanding, crazy things that haven't been done in baseball
and yet they're in last place in their division. I don't know what to do. You're a big numbers guy. We were talking about IU football earlier because being at French Lick, I decided it'd only be fitting that I placed a wager, and if I was going to place a wager, to place it here. So I took Indiana and the over for season wins. I did not get it at 5.5. I got it at 6, but I got on the plus side instead of the negative, which I found to be, because we looked it up real quick with Andrew Chernoff, and it was like negatives 127 on one of the sites. So I'm like, I'll take that plus 100 right now, baby. Boom. So
it's up to 6. Yeah, it's fluctuated. It was 5.5.
It's still a 5.5 on some of the apps.
It went down to 5. I saw on DraftKings.
Damn it.
And now it's gone up to 6. You're saying, huh? I mean, 6.
Well, that's at Bet Rivers.
Okay.
Sure. But I'm still good with the 6 because Brendan took me through every game. He made me not only go through every game, he made me give how much they're going to win or lose by. And
he could almost.
And you got to 7?
9-3. He got to 9-3.
Wow.
Unbelievable. So I took $20 on Jim Coyle right there.
And I will admit that 9 is ambitious because there's always, or a lot of the times, there's the loss that you just don't see coming. Something that happens throughout the game, whether you turn the ball over or weather conditions or injury, who knows? But going through the schedule, personally for me, I could not pick. UCLA is obviously going to should be a difficult game because it's on the road. But even with that, I think that Indiana wins because there's a lot of, because of the coach, because of the newness. There's so many factors that I'm like, all right, I think Indiana upsets UCLA.
So the White Sox are going to the World Series.
You ain't getting me to say that.
I mean, they'll be an underdog at UCLA. If they win, it'll be an upset. All the optimism right now is built upon what Coach Cignetti has talked about, and he's talked in a way to make people believe that they're going to be better. I think they'll be better because they can't be worse than some of the ineptitude we saw in the running game the last few years in quarterback play. But
that's because they were a running team.
Need to see it on the field, and it'll the first impression is going to be important. They play FIU, not a great team, but we remember last year when they were very, 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 very fortunate to beat Akron. So if they come out and beat
Western Kentucky the year before that,
beat FAU the way they should beat them, then okay, people will buy in. But at this point, although I do think that Cignetti knows what he's doing and is a good coach, I need to see more proof on the field before I could say they're going to win 6 games with any amount of certainty.
Upset. Western Illinois Leathernecks over your Hoosiers. Yep.
Now, you really think so?
No, but I'm just trying to push stops a little bit. But you never know. I mean, that's their Super Bowl. If they could take down a Big Ten team, and
not happening this year. Their best chance left when Tom Allen left for Penn State.
Remember Kevin Wilson's first game, he lost to Ball State, I'm pretty sure, right?
Yes.
He had no defense. None.
But I mean, we don't know how good these. The coaching staff has done a good job of convincing everybody these guys are better, but got to see it on the field.
And early games are just tough by nature. You're still, they just opened up fall camp last week, and the first game is like 3 weeks away. So, is that for
Hoosier wins
5.5? Who's that with?
This is with Hard Rock.
See, but that's negative 130. I got plus 100. So I'll take my numbers. I ended up at 9-3, but I think it's going to be closer to potentially 8-4, 7 wins. I'm pretty confident at 7, personally. Just with all the changes that is on their schedule because of all the changes. But you want to talk about a weird schedule. Next year, unless I have completely misread this schedule, Indiana opens up with 7 consecutive home games, all of their home games right in a row,
and then all of their away games, the 5 are on the backside of
2025.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, I can't believe that's true.
I'm like, okay, what am I not seeing here? Is this an old schedule that they didn't change? Because it doesn't make sense. So somebody confirm or deny that for me. But
I would doubt the Big Ten's even come out with the dates yet for next year's schedule.
Well, remember when they had it done for like 5 years out?
They might have had the dates of who the opponents are. The names of the opponents, I'm not sure they have the dates yet.
We shall see.
We're looking it up right now.
He is my man Brendan is on it.
You're his research guy?
I'm the producer of the show today.
Oh, okay.
I've been up here for the last couple of days, Rick. The Corn Ferry Tour Championship coming here in October, the 20th championship have been held here at French Lick. Pretty cool. Looking forward to that. There'll be some names that you'll be seeing on the tour soon. Scotty Scheffler wins a gold medal. Speaking of which, I bet Scotty was never on the Corn Ferry Tour, was he?
Hell yeah, he was. He won down at Victoria National like 4 years ago. Yeah, everybody. There's 84% of the players on the PGA Tour had roots in the Corn Ferry Tour. So yeah.
So it's very, very rare that a golfer is going to just be on the tour. I mean,
now with the PGA University, they take like the top 6 college players get on the tour. It's a great developmental league. And then if you go through different ways of qualifying, through the European Tour or whatnot as well. So yeah, this is the future of golf, and we're looking forward to the next 5 years of being the host site. Being 4 years or 4 days on the Golf Channel doesn't hurt either. So
Rick's covered a ton of golf down there in Louisville at Valhalla with all the PG action that has gone on there. And once again this year, which I predict to be the last major ever held in Louisville, or at least
I agree 100%. Once they sold it, PGA of America got out, they're not coming back.
And after they arrested Scotty, I'm like, yeah, that was a bad move. I don't think they'll ever have another major in Louisville. Not just for one reason, but for all of that. There's not really a draw to come to Louisville for the PGA with them not owning the event or owning the venue, is there?
No, I wouldn't think so, other than the fact, it's been here 4 times before, and a Ryder Cup was here. It does have a little bit of a tradition. But there's rumblings that there's going to be another pro event, not a PGA tournament event at Valhalla. And I think next year we're getting the tournament that had been in Lexington. That's like the week before the British Open.
The Barbasol?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's going to be in Louisville at Hurstbourne Country Club next year.
Wow, Hurstbourne.
There you go.
The former site of the Foster Brooks Pro-Am.
Yeah, Bob Knight was a regular at the Foster Brooks.
I went to the Peter Jacobson Pro-Am when I was a TV sports anchor out in Washington, and Bob Knight was in that one too. That was back in the day. That was wild. John Daly was there. Fuzzy Zeller was there. Payne Stewart was there. Bob Knight. It was fun. I'll tell you that. I got a picture with me next to John Daly. He's like 5'10", and he had the mullet of all mullets going. He was rocking it, baby.
I'd kill the girl with mullet right now.
I bet you would.
That's it. Thank God I get to wear a hat for a living. It's awesome.
Let's take a quick break. Rick Bozich from WDRB.com.
Rick, it's good seeing you, buddy.
Good seeing you.
Whenever you want to come up, just drop me a line. We'll take care of you up here, and we appreciate your support. And looking forward to you come on up. You want to come up for the Corn Ferry, just let me know. All right, bro?
All right. Thank you.
All right, buddy.
We've got more coming up here on Indiana Sports Speed Radio. Back with it right after this break. In the market for a new or used vehicle? Well, nobody beats the prices and selection of Andy Moore Honda in Bloomington. Right now, get a brand new Honda with no payments for 90 days. That's right, 2023 and 2024 Honda Pilots, HRVs, CRVs, Honda Ridgelines, payment-free for 90 days. Or get 0.9% APR financing for 36 months on a 2023 Honda Ridgeline. Go to AndyMooreHonda.com and get more to your door. If you're looking for a home in the Indianapolis area, you need Cheryl Sizemore from RE/MAX Advanced Realty. Cheryl Sizemore has over 2 decades of experience, and that could be the difference in you getting the home you want in today's tough housing market. Reach out to Cheryl Sizemore from RE/MAX Advanced Realty at cheryl@indyhomepros.com or 317-298-0961. Cheryl Sizemore from RE/MAX Advanced Realty. Let Cheryl Sizemore get you in the home you want today. Cheryl@indyhomepros.com.
Looking for someone to cater your next corporate event, family reunion, or tailgate? To some, a garnish may be nothing more than just a decoration put last on a plate. But in Bloomington, catering starts with Garnish Catering. Serving all of Bloomington and surrounding areas, Garnish Catering is waiting to help make your next event one to remember. Planning a great event shouldn't have to be stressful. Whether we quote you just for catering or a total event package, you can trust that you're making the right choice with Garnish Catering. Visit garnishcatering.com. That's garnishcatering.com. Garnish Catering is a proud partner of WOW Food Group.
Whether it's a night out with the family, after work with colleagues, or catching the game with friends, Bubba's 33 is the place for you. Bubba's 33 offers a mouthwatering menu of selections that are all made from scratch every day. The portions are big, but the prices are small. And with over 50 big screen TVs, you'll never miss the big game. Bubba's 33. Pizza, burgers, beer.
Country living is just a swing away. It can be hard to find the exact home that fits your family's needs, so there couldn't be a better time to build a new home with Property Shore Construction. Now building exclusively south of Bloomington within the Stonecrest Golf community. Choose from one of the gorgeous Stonecrest Signature Series house plans. We have several lots available with scenic views of the golf course. Contact Amy Rhoda with Revesco Real Estate for additional information. 812-583-0919 or go to mystonecrestliving.com. That's mystonecrestliving.com for more details.
Enjoy healthy, delicious meals at home without the hassle with the Fresh Fork. Chef-curated, ready-made meals delivered right to your doorstep. Proudly fueling IU athletes and now available to you with a menu that's always fresh and diverse, from hearty proteins to fresh salads. The Fresh Fork empowers you to make better food choices without compromising. Let the Fresh Fork help transform your lifestyle for a healthier way of living today at thefreshforkonline.com. Use promo code RADIO20 and get $20 off your first order.
Segment is brought to you by Bubba's 33 in Clarksville.
Welcome back, Indiana Sports Speed Radio here on this Wednesday. Thank you so much for being with us. Coming to you from the beautiful dive course at French Lick Casino and Resort. Couldn't get that one out. Trying to make a new word out of that. Pete, me and Pete had nachos with John Daly at the Peter Jacobson Pro-Am there. Pete was living in Portland, and it was kind of cool waking up in the mornings and looking at Mount Hood. That and the Acropolis, and that's all I'll say about that. What was I go? Oh yeah, UK made the news here lately, especially down in your part of the world, there in the Louisville area, and I know you have a piece on it, more related to Mitch Barnhart. He has done a spectacular job at UK. He has also been on the college basketball committee. And has done a relatively good job there as well. Spread this out thin. That's a lot going on. But football, man, as Kentucky continues to try to find its way through, the SEC, which we all know is a juggernaut, and Kentucky has been more than competitive in that conference. But now sanctions, baby, are coming back because of. And I agree with you. You called it embarrassing, and I'll call it stupid. Before the NIL was a thing, just a couple of years ago, they had players getting paid for not doing anything, which it's a great gig if you can get it. I'm not going to lie, but I can't. I don't have that.
You're right. And what makes it look even worse is it was at the UK, medical health system. So it was, technically part of the university system, and you're talking about taking money from a healthcare system that is just coming out of a pandemic. And, I think more than 10 players were involved. Most people suspected at the time when Chris Rodriguez missed the first 4 games of the 2022 season that he was one of the guys involved, but it quickly spread to other players. So, it's no longer necessary because of NIL. So I don't think we'll see kind of things like that. But they lose 10 wins off the record of, I guess technically, I haven't checked the exact numbers. At some point, Mark Stoops became the all-time winningest Kentucky coach. I don't know if he still is anymore, if he still have enough of a cushion that he could afford losing 10 wins and remain number one.
Yeah, that would it's something to see if they walk that one back. We don't hear much about the NCAA anymore, or not anymore, in regards to this sort of thing because of NIL, because of the portal. All the attention is there. A lot of what little teeth that they had has been filed down even more. But here in just the last week, we've got this situation with Kentucky. You've got the situation at Michigan, which is continuing to rear its head with more sanctions coming down, this time on new head coach Sharon Moore with the level 2 on him and some other things that are still coming out. But at the end of the day, it's just going to be like Kansas when they broke the rules that they broke and cheated the way they cheated prior to it being illegal. They're not going to have a national title taken down. There's no way that Michigan's title should not come down. I mean, what Kansas did was cheating like a lot of people have cheated, which it was cheating. But what Michigan did, took that and just wadded it up and threw it in the trash. I mean, theirs was an outlandish scheme, and yet the punishment that they'll face, it just doesn't match the crime in too small of a way, in my opinion. I mean, I don't understand how you can let that team play for a national championship. And then especially when all the players, and I don't mean the active players, I mean the players involved, are allowed to just go on and go elsewhere and move on up into a higher, more profitable paying position.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about the Michigan situation is that for anybody to suggest that it was one low-level staffer who came up with this scheme, executed it, and, spread the news through this coaching staff without some of the higher, I mean,
used all of his own money.
Coaches are such control freaks that the good ones know everything that's going on with their program. Very few things get past them. And I think that, it's circumstantial evidence is that before Michigan got really good the last few years, that Jim Harbaugh was kind of on the hot seat because he couldn't beat Ohio State. He wasn't making Michigan a national contender. And it certainly looks like that the pressure of achieving the goals that he promised he would achieve when he got the job there would lead that program to a path where they would do this kind of stuff. And coaches that or talk to will tell you that, it was a big advantage for them to know steal signs the way they do. And hopefully, I think this year they're going to introduce more radio communications of sign being transferred during a game. The quarterback can have a transmitter in his huddle or an earpiece in his huddle like they do in the NFL, and that'll cut back on some of the sign stealing. And then Harbaugh leaving and going to LA to coach the NFL after the season, that to me had many of the trappings if he wanted to get out before his reputation was sullied even worse. And his performance the other day in the press conference was a little bit repulsive, in my opinion, where he was so dismissive of the fact that he would need to cheat. And, I just didn't care for it.
Well, he's always kind of been like that. He's a great salesman. And he is a great salesman, and he always has his script ready to go. And so absolutely pop on. But it caught up with him, and I don't know if he could be any more sullied than he is. Everybody knows what he did, and they got away with it. But
he's back in the NFL where they don't put up with that stuff, first of all. And I know he had success in the NFL when he was with the 49ers, but the NFL is a different game than college football at Michigan. When you're at Michigan, you have major advantages over a lot of your competition, which allows you to be successful. In the NFL, it's not that way. It's more of a level playing field. So your ability to really coach has to come through, and we'll see what he can do. And Sharon Moore, not a good way for him to start his tenure. He's an unproven head coach, and for him to come in and be dealing with this kind of stuff as he comes out of the starting blocks, especially with a team that's been rebuilt, it could be a little bit of a rocky ride for him up in Ann Arbor.
Oh, a little Wyatt, a little info there. Jasper's 1200 Little League team, 1 win away from the Little League World Series. They play Illinois tonight. It's 7 on ESPN. Winner going to Williamsport. So
go get him, Jasper.
Go Jasper. Heck yeah, that would be awesome.
Where's the game?
When?
Where?
ESPN. Where are they playing it?
Yeah.
It's a good question. I don't know
They
where
used to play the
Lakes
Great
is.
Lakes Regional in Indianapolis. They're on sort of the east side. I remember when New Albany went there a
Great
couple
Lakes
times.
Region.
I'll be driving through Jasper in about 45 minutes.
They're not playing in Jasper. They won't be playing in Jasper.
It's
I'll tell you what.
probably. I think it's.
You know what would be cool? It would be cool if they had it down in where's the sea where they built the Huntingburg. That would be awesome. They built a Huntingburg Stadium during the filming of A League of Their Own that matches that era. That would be a great place to have.
The Rockford Peaches, baby.
That's right. Man. That's right. All right, Rick. So Kentucky, well, since we talked about them, football, what do you think they're going to do record-wise this year?
That's a great. What's their over and under? Like 7, 6.5.
I haven't even looked.
Yeah. I think they'll be in that range. They're unproven at quarterback. They've got Brock Vandegrift, who was a backup at Georgia the last 3 years, and then they got a kid from Owensboro who actually started at Rutgers the last 2 seasons. Gavin Wimstad. He beat Indiana twice. He transferred back to UK after spring practice. They got a really good defense, but the schedule's hard. They got to play Georgia at home. They got to play at Texas. They got to play at Ole Miss. They got a lot of tough games on the schedule. So there we go. It's at Whiteland, the east side of Indy. Yeah,
got it right here. 7 o'clock. ESPN.
I'd have Kentucky down for 7 and 5. I think they'll be right in that range.
Jeff Brom in Louisville. They're expecting better things in year 2 of the Brom experience there in Louisville.
Oh, they won 10 games last year. They had kind of a magical season. Got off to a great start and then lost that game to Pittsburgh.
Should have lost Indiana.
And
beat Notre Dame, dude. I was at that game.
Beat Notre Dame, stormed the field. Yeah,
I was wearing a Johnny Latner jersey. I had to get
ended on a rough note.
Johnny New Jack.
The last 3. Johnny Latner was the running back who won the. Did he win the Heisman?
1953 Heisman Trophy winner.
And I've got a 1953 Notre Dame football up on my.
Really?
There. My uncle played on that team. He was a defensive
No
back.
kidding.
Yeah.
That is amazing, brother. There we go. We got to get that.
See if I can find it. Hold on.
Yeah,
it's right here.
that is wow. That's something
Dude,
special.
you got the moves of Johnny Latner working there right now.
It's 1954.
That's just couple years before Paul Hornung?
Yeah.
Paul Hornung was 62, maybe.
Autographed 1954 Notre Dame ball. Ralph Guglielmi was the quarterback.
Was it autographed by the team?
Yeah, my uncle.
Wow.
My uncle was a starting DB.
Oh my God, that means is Knute Rockne on that?
No, it was 1928.
Oh, okay. I couldn't remember when Knute Rockne what his years were. Now I'm saying Knute on purpose.
Louisville though this year, I mean they got to pay. They got to go to Notre Dame, so that'll be a payback game.
But last time I was at a Louisville Notre Dame game.
Paul Hornung was on that 54 team.
There you go. Paul Hornung was on that team. How?
I got the 1954.
The Golden Boy, the Packers.
Yeah.
What
was your uncle's name?
Gene Carabine.
See if we can find old Gene here.
Eugene Carabine, Carabine.
Paul Hornung, the Golden Boy from Louisville, Flagey High School.
He started as a sophomore, tore a knee ligament, and that was pretty much the end of his career. Gary Emerson. And then he became an NFL football official and a Big Ten official.
That's cool.
Indiana football record. What do you not See, people have to not base that 1-8 Big Ten season last year on this is virtually a completely different team, and that's why
Are you Hoosier football?
well, we're going through different things here.
Oh my goodness.
And they're in that, but that's why I'm not letting that fade into my.
Louisville, I'm going with 8-4. They got to play road games at Notre Dame and Clemson and Kentucky, so that won't be easy. But Indiana, I'm going to go. I'll be an optimist and go 6-6.
And you think that's optimism? Really?
Five,
I know.
I've watched Indiana football for all my life.
5-7.
5-7.
Are you serious?
5-7.
Oh, we're doubling our bet.
Okay.
I'm doubling down on that.
I just can't sit here and say, yeah, they're going to beat
I know.
Nebraska.
And it's hard for me to. It's hard for me to because I've never been able to do that. But looking at this schedule, knowing what I know about those other teams, I'm like, man, they're all in flux.
I can't sit here and say, yeah, they're going to go to Northwestern and win. No, I mean, I can't say that. I can't say they're going to beat Purdue. I mean, I just can't. I got to see it on the field. They got
Florida International is going to set the tone for the Hoosier season.
What happens if they lose that game? I mean, I don't think they will.
Jim Coyle gets real nervous real fast.
But
I don't get nervous. I start freaking out. It's over.
But it's not impossible. We've seen Indiana football through the years, right?
Time you can
we have
never
not
get back.
seen it under this type of attitude, under the transfer portal action of having this type of receiving core, that some of the talent that was brought in. Pro Football Focus has ranked many of these guys at either the top or the top 5. Indiana has 3 of the top 10 defensive transfers in the country, according to Pro Football Focus.
I got to see it on the field, man.
Yeah, there's 11 players on each side of the ball. 3's not going to do that much.
What is going on with this world where I am the guy of optimism? Everybody always tells me how negative I am, and I'm like, I just tell you the truth.
Ever get that time back of watching IU football. It's just you might as well cut the grass.
It was only 3 years ago when everybody was saying 10-2 and might be in the hunt for the Rose Bowl, and they came out against Iowa, and it just disappeared just like that.
Quick.
And that was with Michael Penix, who's the first-round draft pick in the NFL. I mean, I got to see proof. I do. And if they win 8 or 9 games, it'd be fantastic. If they won 6, it'd be fantastic because they don't.
No, 5. They've got to win 7.
5.
They got to win 6 and go to a bowl game. I mean,
they've got to win 7. I don't care about a bowl. If they don't win 7, I don't care about 6. Jim's wallet doesn't care about 6. But no, for Kurt Signetti, yes.
I just think I've seen IU football too many times.
Time you can never get back.
Until you can see proof. Purdue thinks they're going to be good too. So that game's
it's like seeing
they have to pretend that they're going to be good.
Your eyes will be scarred.
But look, at the media picked Purdue to be dead last. That's not a good sign for Ryan Walters. You're going into your second year to be picked dead last in a conference that has no less than probably 6 teams that have new coaches.
Right.
Yeah, Purdue is just they're going to be an enigma. I don't know what they're going to be like, to be honest with you.
Purdue's got a good quarterback, though. I mean, they're not. I wouldn't just write them off yet.
I know, and their offensive coordinators under the Mike Leach, Mike Leach tree. So it could be a fun year. But I think for Indiana, the bottom is 7-5. Personally, that was actually my hard number. I picked.
If we clip this video, you're 7-5.
I'm 5.
I'm 6.
I'm 5. And I'm betting the house on the Western Illinois Leathernecks.
And taking the points, or you just betting them straight up?
Whatever it takes. It's my prediction is the Hoosiers will not beat a directional team this year. So Northwestern and Western Illinois.
Man, it's been a blast.
Yeah, brother.
Brendan Sweeney has been awesome here at French Lick.
Love it.
As the Corn Ferry Tour Championship coming this early October, brought to you by United Fidelity Leasing.
No, United Leasing and Finance.
too many. Yeah. See, you didn't. You said you were going to write it down. You didn't.
Yeah, why should I write it down? I know it.
I know, but you're supposed to write it down so I could read it. So I can't remember.
No, I just wrote down your prediction of IU football.
Well, yeah, you wrote every one of it down. He took point by point. Rick Bozich.
Hey, thanks for keeping the lights on at French Lick there, Mr. Jim.
Oh, you bet. You're starting to make me feel a little nervous.
Well, good.
Rick Bozich, as always, you are the king. We
can't hear
appreciate you,
stupid.
my friends.
All right, guys. Have a great weekend.
You as well. Rick Bozich from WDRB.com. Make sure you're giving him a follow and following French Lick Golf. Go ahead and give Brendan Sweeney a follow. He'll keep you updated on everything that's going on at the big courses. The Donald Ross up here as well. So
check us out on Instagram. We should be good. French Lick Golf.
We're back tomorrow to do it again. Until then, I'm Jim Coyle. I will see you on the radio.
Thanks for listening to Indiana Sports Beat Radio. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube page for more clips and team coverage of Indiana basketball, football, and more. You can also find full episodes and tons of other content on thehoosier.com. We'll see you next time for another edition of Indiana Sports Beat Radio.